Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss important question and answers of the poem Vocation, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. So here I begin. First of all, children, I'll give you a short explanation of stanza wise, then I will tell you the questions based on this particular stanza. So here I begin. And before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you have not subscribed up till now, then please do. And watch the video till end. And press the like button if you have liked it. And I'm sure you're going to like it, as these question answers are really very important from the point of view of your exam. And I find my viewers are more non-subscribers than those of subscribers. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay, now let us start. Now I move towards the first stanza. And the lines are, when the gong sounds 10 in the morning, and I walk to school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker, spending my day in the road, crying, bangles, crystal bangles. Now the explanation. The poet walks to the school lane when the gong rang at 10 in the morning. So children, who is the poet? The poet is Rabindranath Tagore as a child. Okay. So when and early in the morning the poet is going to the school, the child is going to the school. At that time, the time was 10 o'clock. On the way, he meets a bangle seller who sells crystal bangles. He need not to hurry and worry as the poet has to. He is jealous of the hawker because he is not restricted from going anywhere. He is also not forced to reach home on time. The poet wishes to be a hawker and sells bangles in the streets because he wants to lead a careful life, freeful life or independent life. Now children, the same explanation I am going to tell you in Hindi. So listen carefully. प्रातः 10 बजे जब घंटा बजता है और मैं अपनी गली में गुजर कर स्कूल जाता हूँ, मैं मीन्स कौन है? मैं पोएट जाता हूँ, तो हर दिन मैं एक फेरी वाले को देखता हूँ जो ऊंची आवाज़ में चिल्लाता रहता है, चूड़ियाँ, कांच की चूड़ियाँ। उसे कोई जल्दी नहीं होती, वो किसी भी सड़क पर जा सकता है, उसे किसी निश्चित स्थान पर नहीं पहुंचना है, उसके घर लौटने का समय भी कोई निश्चित नहीं है। काश मैं भी एक फेरी वाला होता। ये कौन बोल रहा है? ये छोटा बच्चा बोल रहा है। द चाइल्ड इज स्पीकिंग। अपना दिन मैं सड़क पर घूमते बिताता और आवाज़ करता, चूड़ियाँ, पारदर्शी कांच की चूड़ियाँ। Now, the question based on this first stanza is question number 1. What did the child say about the hawker in the street? And the correct answer is, the child said about the hawker in that street, the hawker was not in a hurry. Is that he was not in a hurry. There was no fixed time for him to return to his home or no specific road he must go on. He was going freely anywhere and everywhere. Question number 2. Where did the child meet a hawker? And the correct answer is, the child met a hawker on the road while he was going to his school early in the morning at 10 o'clock. What did the child mention about the hawker? This is question number 3. And the correct answer is the child or the poet said that the hawker was not in a hurry. There was no specific road which he must take. There was no fixed time for him to return to his home. Question number 4. Who used to cry bangles, crystal bangles? And the correct answer is a hawker used to cry bangles, crystal bangles every morning on the road. Now children, I move towards stanza number 2. And the lines are: when at 4 in the morning I come back from school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Now the explanation of this stanza. The poet witnesses the freedom of choice of the gardener when he comes across on the way home. The gardener digs the ground with the spade. So he is digging the ground with what thing? What material? What instrument is it? It is the spade. His dress is soiled with dust, but still he is not scolded by anyone. He is free to be in sunlight or get wet in the rains. The poet wishes to bask in the sun and get drenched in the rains. He wants to enjoy freedom of digging the ground. So the child is very much fascinated towards this profession of gardener. Now the explanation in Hindi. शाम 4 बजे जब मैं स्कूल से लौटता हूँ, मैं उस घर के गेट के अंदर एक माली को ज़मीन खोदते देखता हूँ। वह अपना फावड़ा चलाकर जो मर्जी होती है करता है। वह अपने वस्त्र धूल में गंदे कर लेता है। यदि वह धूप में तप जाता है अथवा बारिश में भीग जाता है तो भी उसे कोई डांटता नहीं। मेरी भी तमन्ना है कि मैं कोई माली होता, बगीचे में मिट्टी खोदता और मुझे इस काम से रोकने वाला कोई नहीं होता। So the little child, he is fascinated and he wants to be a gardener. He seems to think that the job of a gardener is very carefree. So now the question based on this stanza are: question number 5. When did the child see a gardener? And the correct answer is the poet saw the gardener outside his house in the afternoon after returning from his school. Question number 6. Whom does the poet see at 4 in the afternoon? And the correct answer is the poet sees the gardener at 4 in the afternoon while returning back from the school. Hope children you are understanding and you also keep on answering the questions so that you can come to know how much you have understood. Question number 7. At what time does the poet go to school? And the correct answer is 10 a.m. Similarly, if I ask you at what time did the poet return back from school, so the correct answer will be at 4 o'clock. Question number 8. Who has written it? Who has written the poem? What does the hawker cry to sell his bangles? And the correct answer is this poem, Vocation, is written by Rabindranath Tagore. The hawker cries, "Bangles, crystal bangles," to sell his bangles. Question number 9. What does the poet say about the life of the hawker? And the correct answer is, the poet says that the hawker has freedom to move anywhere and return back at any time. There is no restrictions for him, as it is in the case of little children. So nobody scolds him, nobody tells him anything. He can come back at any time and he can go anywhere and come and do his work. Question number 10. Give the meaning of the word crystal. So the correct answer is, crystal means highly transparent glass. Question number 11. Where does the poet sees the garden? And the correct answer is, the poet sees the gardener through the gate of a house. So the question was, where does the poet sees the gardener? So while returning back from the school at 4 o'clock, he sees the gardener through the gate of a house. Question number 12. What is the wish of the poet? And the correct answer is, the poet wishes that nobody should stop him if he were a gardener. He was free to soil his clothes. He was free to be baked in the sun or get drenched in the rains. Question number 13. Give the meaning of the word baked. And the correct answer is, baked means stay in sunlight for a long hours. Question number 14. What did the child notice about the gardener? And the correct answer is, the child noticed that the gardener has spread soil all over his clothes and nobody punished him from getting baked under the sun or getting drenched with the rains. So he was also free to do whatever he wished like. So children, now I move towards the third and the last stanza. And the lines are, just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red give in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side, and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadow with my lantern. Now the explanation of this line. The poet's mother compels the poet to slip into bed. The poet sees through his window a watchman doing his duty. The lanes are dark and desolate. Desolate means it is very lonely. Nobody is there. The poet describes that he looks like a giant with one red eye in its head. The lantern saving here and there in his hand. The poet wants to chase his shadow like him. So now the poet is fascinated. The poet, as a little child, he is fascinated by the work of the gardener, by the work of the watchman. Previously he loved the work of a hawker. Then when he saw the gardener, he wanted to be a gardener. Now when he sees the watchman, he wants to be a watchman now. So now the explanation in Hindi. जैसे ही शाम को अंधेरा होने लगता है, मेरी माँ मुझे बिस्तर पर जाने को कहती है। मैं खुली खिड़की से पहरेदार को गली में गश्त लगाते देखता हूँ। गली अंधेरी और सुनसान है और सड़क पर सड़क का लैंप किसी दैत्य की भांति दिखता है जिसके सिर पर एक ही लाल आँख हो। पहरेदार अपनी लालटेन झुलाता रहता है। उसका साया एक और उसके साथ साथ रहता है। वो कभी भी सोता नहीं। काश मैं भी पहरेदार होता, सड़क पर सारी रात घूमता, अपने साए का लैंटर्न की रोशनी में पीछा करता रहता। So now he is so much fascinated that he wants to be a watchman. Now the question based on this stanza. And my question number 15 is, what was the activity of the watchman? And the correct answer is, the activity of the watchman was that he used to walk on the dark and lonely lane with his lantern in his hand. He was following his shadow at one side according to the child. He never went to bed in his life. Question number 16. Who sends the poet to bed? And the correct answer is, the poet's mother sent him to bed. Question number 17. Whom does the poet see through his window? And the correct answer is, the poet sees a watchman through his window. Question number 18. How does the poet describe the street lamp? And the correct answer is, the poet describes the street lamp as a giant with one red eye on its head. Question number 19. What was his reason of comparison? And the correct answer is, he does not wish to go to bed early and wants to roam around in streets chasing his own shadow. Question number 20. What is the hawker selling here? And the correct answer is, bangles. Crystal bangles. How does the hawker passes his time? And the correct answer is, the hawker passes his time leisurely. Question number 21. Why does the child wish to become a hawker? And the correct answer is, he wishes to become a hawker because it will give him full freedom of action. Another question is, what does the word gong in the poem means? So the correct answer is, gong means it is a metal object which makes a loud sound when one hits it. Question number 22. What does a poet see the gardener doing? And the correct answer is, the poet sees the gardener digging the earth with his spade and soiling his clothes. Another question is, what does the phrase take to task means? And the correct answer is, rebuke. Question number 23. What is the job of the watchman? And the correct answer is, to walk up and down the street all night for the safety of the people. Question number 24. Why is the lane dark and lonely? And the correct answer is, the lane is dark and lonely because it is night time. Question number 25. What does the line chasing the shadow means? So the correct answer is, it means going after. Question number 26. What is the lifestyle led by the hawker, the watchman, and the gardener? And the correct answer is, the hawker, the watchman, and the gardener are doing their vocational duties. They are leading their life in the way they want to. There are no restrictions on them. They are leading a free life. Question number 27. Who is the speaker of the poem? Who are the people the speaker meets? What are they doing? And the correct answer is, a small child that is the poet, who does not know what a life is and what exact vocation one should follow, is the speaker in the poem. First, when he meets a hawker, and then when he meets a gardener, and lastly the watchman. So the hawker was selling bangles, the gardener was digging the ground, and the watchman was standing guarding the whole night. So he wanted to be all of them because he appreciated their work and he saw that their work was totally leisurely. It was independent, that is carefree. Question number 28. What sort of life does the child wishes for? And the correct answer is, the child wishes for a carefree life with no restrictions like that of a hawker, of gardener, or of the watchman, who don't have to bother about returning home on time or getting scolded for soiling clothes or going to bed. Question number 29. Explain the line. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. And the correct answer is, the poet means to say that nobody scolds the gardener for soiling his clothes, that is, making it dirty with the mud, sitting in the sun, as it is his duty to sit in the sun and do the work, digging the earth or getting wet in the rain. So all these things attracts the child and he wants to be a gardener. Question number 30. Explain chasing the shadow with my lantern. And the correct answer is, when the watchman walks swinging his lantern, the shadow falls by his side and appears to walk with him. The watchman seems to be following the shadow. Question number 31. And children, this is my last question. And the question is, why did the child think that the life of others are interesting? And the correct answer is, the child thought others' life more interesting because he was under strict control of his family. He was not allowed to move anywhere at his own will and return home according to his own will. He was fed up with his life due to the instructions imposed on him. He did not like these restrictions. It was his thinking that the hawker, the gardener, and the watchman were very happy, as they could do their own things as per their own wish. They could go anywhere at any time without any restrictions. This is the reason why the child wanted to exchange his life with that of the hawker, the gardener, and the watchman to become free from restrictions. I hope, children, all these question answers will be helpful for you in your examination. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.